right, we are starting with CPM 2.1.9, more solving equations. This is period 5. Make sure you have your name, the date, math 8, period 5. We are on 2-8-3. We have 4 problems. Let's start with A. Negative x plus 2 equals 4. This is like a 2-step equation. What am I going to do first? Well, first I'm going to move. I need to get the goal here. The goal is to get x alone by itself. Or to find x. To do that, I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. I'm going to move the constant over. And then rewrite. Now, we cannot have a negative variable. So to get rid of the negative variable, I have to divide by a -1 to get rid of it. Divide by -1, divide by -1. So x equals -2. How do you feel about -2? You feel good? You feel great? You feel wonderful? Wonderful. Are we ready to turn the page? Yep.
How do you mean you divide it by 1 instead of 2?
Because if this is by itself, whatever's in front of an x, you need to get rid of it. Whether it be a negative or a 56. Usually when whatever is next to it, that is usually a multiplication, so you always do the opposite, you divide.
So if it were to be 30x, you would divide by 30?
Yes, sir. Make sure it's a positive or negative. Whatever it is, you got to get rid of it.
So if it was a positive 36, you would do?
You would, in that case, you just make sure you divide by positive 36 in that moment. Yes. Thanks for letting me know. B. Ooh, B, not D. So we have 4x minus 2 plus x equals 2x plus 8 plus 3x. What are you going to do first? Torres.
Like terms?
Yep. You're going to simplify both sides. All right. What are my like terms? Dahlia, what are my like terms? Let's just start about the left-hand side. What's the like terms there? There's 3 terms. What terms are variables and what terms are constants? What? Yep, and then we have another. So what is 4x plus x? So this is a like term and this is a like term. What do we do with the negative 2, Nash? Do we do anything with the negative 2? No, we do not. We just rewrite it right here because there's no other constant on this side of the equal sign. All right, next. What have we got next? Evan. Hi, Evan. Tell me the like terms on the right-hand side. And? There you go. What is 2x and 3x? Perfect. Remember, unless it has the same variable like the matching socks, right? Before you leave the house, you check your socks. Make sure they are matching. Some people do, right? And you want them to match. Yes, yes. So you don't want to have, you cannot, what I'm telling you is you cannot add a constant to a variable. Don't do it. It will be wrong. I can't say that enough. In this moment, 2, we need to get what on what side of the equal sign? Yeah, Lester. 8 to the left. Okay. Can I ask you guys a question? What do you see? What do you see here? What's going on? Look at it. What about the variables? No. Well, you are going to cross them. Watch. But now look. You have a negative 2 equals 8. Is that a solution? Congratulations, you have reached your first no solution. We cannot solve this problem. Awesome. Once you see that, where they match and one's a negative and then, you know, once you see that they cancel each other out, you just cut yourself some work. Yes, sir.
If there's no like answer, how do you know you didn't do it right? Like, is there a way to check yourself to make sure that it is?
Well, of course, right? You just make sure, right? So check your stuff. But remember, before we could check ourselves with an X, but we don't have an X at this point. Look, 4x and x is 5x minus 2. 2 and 3x are 5x. You bring down the 8. There is no other way of looking at that. Does that make sense? But yes, when you get an X, when you check it to make sure it's right by plugging it back in and both sides have to equal each other, that's when you know. Cool? Let's do C. You have 4y minus 9 equals, plus y equals 6. What am I going to do? Eric. Perfect. I like terms. So now we have 5y minus 9 equals 6. Okay. All right, go ahead, Torres.
You move the constant to the right side of the
Is it left or right?
What do you think?
Left.
It's right because there's no other number on the other side.
There's no other constant?
Yeah.
The constant's on this side of the equal sign. So you want to move it, yeah. These are all about your decisions, in essence, because you're making the call of how you're going to move it and whether you move it left or right. Let's just say you want to move it on the right, onto the left again. You're just like moving it over here. It's still right there with the variable, so you didn't do anything with it. Believe me, I've seen that. They've still got all this stuff and they didn't solve because it's not on the equal sign. Now what do I do? Yep. Yep. So 3. Okay. Y equals 3. You're not always going to get this perfect answer, but you will get an answer that you feel good about. There's a certain confidence where you're like, oh, yes, that makes sense by the end of this, right? If you have that yucky feeling like, I don't feel right about this, check your answer. Not everything's going to end right, but when you get to it, you will get confident in yourself with the equations. We only have one more. Is everybody ready? Or you need a minute? Ready? Now we have D. 9 minus 2 minus 3y equals 6 plus 2y negative 5 plus y. Hold on. Camilla, what am I going to do? What would you do? What's the first thing I'm going to do? Just take a guess. It's all right. Not yet, but you're right. That's it. Camilla, that's the second thing I'm going to do. Lopez, what am I going to do? Hold on, I'm going to give you a clue. Ramirez, what are you going to do? Yep, you're going to distribute this negative and this negative. So I'm just going to distribute. So now I have 9 minus 2 plus 3y equals 6 plus 2y minus 5 minus y. Now, Camilla's got their idea. We're going to add like terms. Camilla, do you see what my like terms are on the left-hand side? How many variables do you see? Why don't we start there? Good. So I'm going to move this variable to the front. Now, how many just numbers do I have? Just on this side. Is your name Camilla? Go ahead, sweetheart. We have 9 minus 2. What is 9 minus 2? Perfect. So now we have plus 7. So these two are like terms. Cool? Cool. Now, Mia, what am I going to do on this side? How many terms do I have over here? Perfect. What variables am I going to add together? Okay, and that equals? Well, one's a positive, one's a negative. You have $2 and you gave one to Aaron. How many do you have left? Perfect. Okay. Now, Miss Ramirez, what do I have left on this side? Yep. And how much does that add up to? Perfect. +1. All right. Now, what do I do? What do I do? Pike, what do I do here? What would you do? Did you write notes? Why don't you look in the notes and I'll wait for you. By the way, your test is open note on Friday. You're welcome. What do you think? Yes! Good job, Pike. We're going to move the constants to the right. I'm going to do that with subtraction.
What about the constants on the right?
Yeah, we're shooting the constant to the left.
Why does that constant stay there and the other one moves?
Good question. Because you see this y? This is going to be negative when you move it to the left, but you're going to end up with a positive on the left-hand side. If you take this and move it over, it's going to be a -3. And then you're going to have a negative. You're going to have to divide that by a -1. Do you understand now where I'm saying? I'm trying to cut. I'm lazy. I'm lazy at 50. You all are lazy at whatever age you are. So cut your workload. Think about it before you start moving stuff around. Does that make sense over there? Cool. So now I've got 3y equals y minus 6. Now I'm doing the other one. And Jose, what am I going to do now? You can do this. What needs to be on the other side of the equal sign? Torres, stop it. Put your hand down. Put your hand down. Jose is answering our question. We move the constants over. Now we need to move what over to the other side? We're going to move this variable over here. And now you have 2y equals -6. All right, Torres, what am I going to do? I know you're itching to tell me. What? Are you what? No. Yeah. I'm confused too, but not about that. Okay, so remember these. Hold on. Let me stop this. So that's the end of our 4 problems. Hold on.